Three, two, one, ghost. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 3, 2, 1, Ghost. I'm your host with a silent G, Kyle. Your dream warrior for tonight's proceedings. I was going to say dream master, but I'm a humble person.
I'll be the dream master.
I wasn't going to say that either. But you know what? Go for it. I'm joined by my fellow host and dream master, fellow dream master. You're the dream master. Hey, Natalie. How are you? How's your sleep?
Oh my gosh, it's been fantastic. How are you?
I love that. I am good. Hey everybody. It's the first week of the month. Very exciting. So guess what? We're going to be talking about a franchise movie. And of course, as you all know, if you've been sticking around the last 5 months at least, you'd know that we're doing Nightmare on Elm Street. And here we are talking about Nightmare on Elm Street part nope, just kidding. We're going to change it up. Freddy's dead. The final. Wait, what's it called? Freddy's dead, the final nightmare.
It's called Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. Good job.
Why? So when Jason goes to hell, like that is for legal reasons because they couldn't use Friday the 13th. Like that was like,
Hmm.
what's the word? That was like trademarked on its own, but like Jason and the hockey mask, like
Hmm.
visual was trademarked on its own. So they changed it to Jason Goes to Hell. Very, very, I'd say the best thing about that movie is probably the VHS cover.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
so good.
adds some nightmare fuel, but also looks very corny.
Yeah.
It's so good. Um, but I don't know if they had any reason to do this time around to take out the Elm Street part of it.
Is it not A Nightmare on Elm Street? Freddy's Dead, a new the Final Nightmare?
Yeah, that's what threw me off. That would be a fucking mouthful. It's just Freddy's dead, the final nightmare.
Oh yeah, it is.
No part six, no Elm Street.
Especially because this is one of the first ones in a little bit that we bring up Elm Street
And he's
too.
still more or less resigned to Elm Street. He has to bring people there, but I mean, I guess yeah, he has to bring them there so he can pop
Hmm.
his little spirit body into her head and travel with her back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, well,
It's a choice.
it's a choice. The only returning cast member we have, of course. Well, wait, hold on, just kidding. We've got two.
We've got two.
We've got two. We've got industry legend Freddy. Why am I all over myself tonight? It's industry legend Robert England playing Freddy Krueger, of course, just looking drier than ever.
Yeah, they really took away the wetness of him. This is not my favorite Freddy makeup.
No, and I think it's getting I don't know, people seem to like five better than four or three. And then
I like five.
a lot of people, despite their reservations about the second one, feel like the second one actually has some of the best Freddy makeup
That one is my favorite Freddy makeup.
because he's the sweatiest and sloppiest.
And I like the burns. Like I really like the way the burns look. I feel like they're starting to look like I don't want to say pizza because then it sounds like it's appetizing, but it just reminds me of cheese and sauce. Like his face reminds me of cheese and sauce, but like when pizza's been sitting out and it's not greasy anymore, it's just dry. That's what he's serving in this.
Mm. God, you really, really set me up real good for this because see, his evolution in makeup design reminds me of the first three Ninja Turtles movies. Speaking of pizza, like especially because not only like the drier situation, but like they look more cartoony as it goes.
Hmm.
So like I like the design of the first Ninja Turtles movie. I think that's the
Oh
best
yeah.
one. I do think the second one is fun, and I would say probably the Secret of the Ooze is probably the best Ninja Turtles movie.
It's fun.
People say the first one because yeah, okay, it's dark, quote unquote, whatever. But um, it has a lot of jokes that just make no sense. Like, and it makes no. They're doing Cagney impressions. Nobody,
We're we're
right?
we're talking about Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare, just in case anyone was keeping track.
But Ninja Turtles 2 does perfect it. But again, by the time you get to Freddy's dead, like I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I see his eyes too much. There's too much light on
Yeah.
him. You know,
Too much light. Yes.
he's like given like kind of like there's this one where he gives this little like sheepish little like Mr. Magoo smile where he's like, "Whoop, whoop,
Yeah.
whoop, whoop, whoop." And you're like, who is this man?
Like he looks like Robert Englund being cute
Yeah,
sometimes. You right?
absolutely. It looks like Robert Englund being hired to be Freddy at like the opening of a mall. Because they don't put in the same amount of work.
Yeah, it's like quick makeup. We're not doing as much.
You're
I
doing
don't
it in
know.
a tarped off section, in front of the Dairy Queen. Like
Yeah.
it's you gotta hurry, and the kids are gonna be touching and poking, so you gotta
Ew.
right.
Do you imagine children just going up to Freddy Krueger's face, just poking?
Yeah, I like the idea of just Freddy Krueger at a mall opening and just with a line of like children to meet him like he's the Easter Bunny or something.
Gross.
Yeah. Um, this movie came out on September 13th,
Hmm.
which I guess the city of LA like tried to designate as like Freddy Krueger Day, which obviously probably got some pushback because they're like,
No,
should we celebrate a serial killer of children?
they actually the movie came out on the 13th and they tried to make Freddy Krueger Day September 12th.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Well, first, okay, because I was operating thinking it was September 13th. First of all, did you know that your anniversary is on Freddy Krueger Day? Did you plan that?
No, but we'll just say I did.
Sorry, I didn't mean to dox that information. Um, and then two, that is fucking, you know, you're taking a shot from the bow if you are naming a Friday the 13th Freddy Krueger Day.
Yeah.
But if it was the 12th, then okay. Maybe that's
Yeah,
like
they
showing respect. It's like, look, movies come out on Friday. What do you want me to do? But out of respect for Jason Voorhees,
was it a Friday the 13th that year?
well, I mean, if a movie comes out, I don't know, just
September
I would just assume so. If like that's just when the movie comes out.
19.
Most movies come out on. Are you looking this up right now?
It was a Friday. It was a Friday
Yeah.
the 13th. I feel like that's kind of like maybe a little fuck you to the Friday the 13th franchise, maybe.
Well, yeah, but if you're saying it was on the 12th, they were trying to do it, then
Well, no, the movie came out on the 13th.
yes.
The movie came out on the 13th and they wanted to make the 12th Freddy Krueger Day because they knew they couldn't make the 13th Freddy Krueger Day. Any
Hmm.
asshole would have been like, absolutely not. Show some respect.
So I digress. You've got Robert Englund in this movie. Um, the only recognizable people, well, not really recognizable, but Lisa Zane, at least her brother, just recognizing the last name. I'm like, how many Zanes are there? And I was like, is there like a Zane dynasty
I hope so.
of just very dark-haired, brooding actors that are just a little campy and like to have fun? It turns
Yep.
out there is. And then you got lovable 90s teen comedy legend Breckenmeyer, right?
Oh yeah, I love him.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of toss him in that pile of like Ethan Embry's, Devon Sawa's,
Yeah.
you know, Seth Green's maybe.
Hmm.
Fuck, who else am I thinking? Probably a few that I forget, but
That
the
was a
type.
perfect list.
Thank you. See, now when do you get to have like what's that movie? Like Old Hogs or Wild Hogs? Old
Ooh,
Dogs?
with all the 90s like boys. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I would love that. They probably need to get to their 50s.
Yeah, so you just have like a movie starring like Matt Lillard, Breckenmeyer, Ethan Embry. We'll throw in and DJ Qualls. Throw him in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Even
That's a
DJ
good one.
Qualls was more like early 2000s, I think, but
Yeah.
where are we? You also have Sean Greenblatt, Leslie Dean, and Yaphet Kotto. But yeah, this movie is directed by Rachel Talalay. She as an executive at New Line. So she's been on a producer. She's been a producer on a few of these movies already,
Hmm.
and was like, "Fuck it, I've got a story idea.
Ugh.
I'll direct the fucking thing. I'm friends with Roseanne. Let's chop, chop, chop. Let's make this happen." So Michael DeLuca wrote the script, but I do like Largely Singular Vision. And is this the first one and maybe the only to be directed by a woman?
Yeah, this is the only one to be directed by a woman.
Yeah, so low key underrepresented, so it's nice to see it.
It's a shame it's maybe not the strongest in the franchise.
It is a shame. Now, yeah, this movie really dives pretty hard into the comedy of it all. This is the only movie in the series that when you Google it, it comes up as horror slash comedy. Maybe the others
Which
might say horror or fantasy, which
it feels
makes
fitting.
sense. Yeah. So before I hop into this movie, to paraphrase our boy Freddy Krueger, it's maybe your dream, but it's our rules. Since this is a franchise series, we do have some certain rules. Got to keep some guardrails up to keep us honest, right? Natalie, can you please remind our fellow Dream Warriors what the rules are?
Of course. So we try to keep it spoiler free when we're going through a franchise. Therefore, even though we are now 6 movies in, we will not spoil any future films in the franchise. Only, what, 2 left, technically?
Yeah.
So we can spoil 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you haven't seen any of those, I mean, probably watch them. But also, why are you listening to this?
But to be fair, if you start with this one, you've
Weird
only you're
choice.
I was gonna say you only got one way to go, and that's up so far at least.
It, but it does have a lot of backstory. So, I mean, you could learn more about Freddy right off the bat, which,
It's like watching it's uh who was it? Henry Cavill? Somebody has like this unique way to watch the Star Wars saga, like the
oh
Skywalker
gosh.
saga. And I forget, I think it's like episode four, and then maybe into episode five, and then you jump back to episode one, and or maybe you start with episode one to get all the Anakin backstory first, which is what we would do here, is start with five.
I mean,
So like
6.
six.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's not a good idea. Don't do it.
Either way, I just hope that anyone who listens regularly is taking note of how many times Kyle brings up Star Wars, even though he insists he's not that big of a fan.
It's a
Just
it's a fucking cultural touchstone, Natalie. What do you want me to
add,
say?
add that to your tallies. Okay, back to the sequence of things here. So no spoilers for future films. We will share our favorite Freddy quote, which this one is full of one-liners. So this should be fun.
Oh, I got it. It's sorry. Here's Henry Cavill's list, and recommended by fellow Superman actor David Corn Sweat. You go four, five, one, two, three, then six.
Gosh.
Which, that's pretty good. I doubt I'm gonna ever do it, but there you go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no.
What were we saying? Were we
What was
talking?
I saying? What was I saying? Then we'll share our favorite nightmare sequence. The nightmare sequence does not have to lead to a death, but it can. We'll share our favorite kill in the movie. Then we'll share our boo scores and our new ranking for the films. And I will remind everyone of our rankings before we add in this movie. And that's it.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yes.
Okay. Ready to close your eyes, get some shut eye,
Let's do it.
start dream warrioring.
It's dream mastering on this side.
That's true. That's less of a mouthful. So, I forgot that there are like three Goo Goo Doll songs in this movie.
What?
Did you not know that? This like opening,
No.
like, rock tune that sounds like it would be in any, Nightmare movie or
Yeah.
any Freddy movie. That's Goo Goo Dolls.
No way. That's bonkers.
Yes, wait, Natalie. It is bonkers though.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
it's not, and like listening to it, like it's not as egregious as like say the difference between um old Sugar Ray and like Fly and post Fly Sugar Ray.
Hmm.
Complete change. Like they're like metal in their first like couple albums.
Oh
And then
wow.
oh yeah,
Oh, never
and
knew.
then in this album that's full of like shitty metal tunes, there's that song Fly, and that becomes a hit. And then they're
Wow.
like, well, fuck, now we just have to write songs like this forever. Now we just have to be
Hmm.
like breezy adult pop contemporary forever, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so kind of with Goo Goo Dolls, we're like, at least these fucking songs sound like kind of, early 90s kind of ass rock. But it's a guy that sounds like a young kind of Johnny, what's it, Resnick? Resnick? I don't know his last name. But, and this is like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years before the song from, what's it, City of Angels?
Is it called Iris?
That's the one.
Hmm.
There's a popular like thing going around where it's like, what was it like in the 90s? And like a bunch of like 90s stars
Yeah,
are like doing it.
I hate it.
Um, yeah.
And I love the 90s. I like the ones where they choose someone else. Have you seen those where they choose somebody who they look like?
Oh, I've seen one where it's the guy that plays like, kind of the shorter, like white, curly, orange haired kid who was the catcher in the Sandlot.
Hmm.
And
Oh
like,
yeah.
and it cuts to the guy that plays like Benny Rodriguez in
Yeah.
like in the Teen Beat magazines and
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, there's a few of them that have like a different they flash back to a different actor who either looks similar to them or doesn't look like them at all, which either one's fun.
Yeah. It'd be funny, like, yeah, people that get like easily confused, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives us this backstory where this movie takes place in 2000, 2001.
This
So it takes place 10 years after this movie comes out.
this
So,
timeline shift feels unnecessary. Are we saying that Freddy couldn't kill all the kids in a year?
hmm,
Like they could have just done it in a year. Like who I would have believed it.
I mean, like, is he trying to like race to the finish or is he trying to kind of enjoy the ride? I don't
He's
know.
trying to enjoy the ride, obviously.
Yeah, so he's probably taking one. He's like, hey, I've got my entire life. I want to, you know, funny, Twin Peaks gets mentioned. He's like, nah, I got to sit and watch Twin Peaks on Thursdays. I can't. And then I got to watch The X-Files on Sundays. And then,
Hmm.
I don't know. He just gets really into TV. I don't know, some sort of hobbies.
Gaming,
But
clearly.
yeah. So, yeah, true. He
Hmm.
doesn't use, he says power glove, but he doesn't use an actual power glove. But he does say the um some Nintendo slogan. I forget what it is, but
He says, um, now now I'm playing with power.
right. I thought he was gonna say. I thought for some reason I kept wanting to say the power is yours, and I'm like, no, that's Captain
No,
Planet.
it's Captain Planet. But that was a Nintendo slogan
That's
that now you're
another.
playing with
That's
power.
another deformed demon man haunting children. Just this time
To
with
save the environment.
yeah. Freddy's fedora covers the green flat top that they all have. So yeah, it's this, and then it's almost like the beginning of like some like almost like a military movie because it's like all like being typed out. It's over like a map of the United States, and
Hmm.
it's like you know 10 years later, almost all the kids are fucking dead, and I think that's pretty much it, right? And then they cut
Hmm.
to John Doe,
Hmm.
and that's going to be his name for this entire movie.
Yeah.
And then you have an airplane dream, very similar to like vibes of obviously Final Destination, but that comes out much later.
Yeah.
um though 10 years later he could have been on the same goddamn flight, Natalie. Think about it. um Or like what's the one, Terror at 10,000? Was it 10,000 they flew at the time?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's sitting next to someone who must have inspired Aunt Gladys.
The redheaded woman
Yeah, that calls him a
that's on the
pussy.
plane. I love that. Don't be
Yeah.
a pussy.
I know. I thought she was great. I was almost half expecting that to be Robert Englund in drag again.
I kind of wanted her to be like a, a regular woman in the first shot, and then
Yeah.
when he says I'm afraid of heights, for it to be Robert England in drag.
And then, but
Y-
the sweater has the green and red stripes on it.
Yeah, just put him in like he should have just been in drag as a character in every movie.
So Freddy launches him out of the plane. He must have like a fear of falling or a fear of heights or something because
He
it
says
comes
he's
up a
afraid of
lot to him.
heights.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, then that
Hmm.
makes sense. I missed that part. So, like, he falls into his house, and then the house starts falling, and of course, very Wizard of Oz-ish, and then
Hmm.
capped off by him, your first appearance of Freddy in this movie, doing his little Wicked Witch of the West impression,
Yeah. Just
which
really setting the stage to be like, this shit's gonna be silly.
100%. Though I do think the effects are pretty good with the falling
Oh
house
yeah.
and like, the wind and shit coming through because this
Hmm.
was all on a set. And this was
Yeah.
like they just shook this fucking set and shot all the effects out through the windows and shit. It
if
looks good.
if there's one thing that these movies always deliver, no matter how dumb the story may be or what the fuck is going on in the backstory, plot, everything, the practical effects, the visual effects are always on and popping. Like they really put a lot into it. So even if you weren't like a huge fan of this franchise, I feel like if I was going through the 80s as an adult, I'd be like, I gotta get in the theater to see these movies because they're gonna show me some cool shit I've never seen before.
Even those demon sperm snakes.
Yeah.
Love it. Because they're just done with like puppets and like it's kind of
Yeah.
similar to well maybe not similar, who knows, but it gives off the same kind of effect as when you're going through the haunted mansion, and you're going
Mm-hmm.
over the ballroom and seeing like the ghosts
Mm-hmm.
dance. I always think, I'm like, God, this always looks so good,
Yeah, it's so good.
no matter how old I get.
Yeah.
Um, so you got some normal kind of dream shit. He's thrown down a hill and kind of rolls down that forever
For so long.
for so long. They're just like, hey, we need to pad out. We need to get this to 89 minutes. What can we do? And it's like, well, let's just roll him down a hill for a few times. Whenever Freddy does his like loop situation, maybe that
Mm-hmm.
too, which I guess does happen later on.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
whole movie feels like they're trying to pad a lot of time.
Yeah. I like Bus Driver Freddy. I just want like all these little action figures of Freddy as all of these characters and all these professions, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
He's like Barbie. He's had every job.
Yeah, I know. I want like a little farmer Freddy. I want like a
Astronaut Freddy.
astronaut Freddy. Yes.
President Freddy.
Whoa. I'd take him.
Hmm.
But since abusing children apparently is
Yeah, it's not off the
does,
table.
does
So Freddy
doesn't
is
doesn't stop you. So the first of many Looney Tunes references feels like is so like when John finally like rolls off this hill and then bus driver Freddy hits him with a bus,
Love it.
launches him, I guess, back out of the dream, but like through, I always love a person-shaped hole,
Oh my
you know?
gosh, I love a person shaped hole. Like it sounds so weird, but like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah. Well, that's a Kool-Aid man shaped hole. But yeah, I hear you. But yeah, very like
He's a person, Kyle.
very Wile Coyote. I don't know. Hmm. He does have a soul.
The Kool-Aid man?
Yeah. Well, and Freddy, he's got multiple.
Yes.
So John gets like launched out of this dream, just
Hmm.
bus rammed out of this dream out, and then he ends up
Oh.
outside during the day, outside Springwood, Ohio.
Hmm. It has to be daytime so you can see the person shaped hole.
Right. Um, and so he has no idea who he is. So we never learn his name in this movie, and they
No.
just call him John Doe. It doesn't really matter.
Do you
But
want to
gosh,
know who he was supposed to be?
I'll let you tell me who.
Do you know?
I do.
Okay, so I think that this is really dumb because we went forward 10 years. So I'm assuming maybe originally we were supposed to have skipped forward extra years to make this plot work. But he is supposed to be, or he was originally supposed to be Alice's son from the last movie, from the Dream Child, Jacob. But you wouldn't have revealed that until later. And that's one of the few reasons, because I guess him just being an Elm Street kid is enough to travel through his dreams or use, his dream powers. But if he was Alice's child, in theory, he would have that dream jumping power that she had. But that was originally who he was supposed to be. I think that would have been interesting, but then we would have had to go forward even more years. And I don't know. I think it would have been a lot. They also had a whole subplot with dream cops, which would have been Kincaid and Joey.
Aren't they
And
dead?
yeah, but they're like living in dreams and like policing and helping fight Freddy.
Gross. ACAB.
Yeah, it would have been really weird. So there's like some really strange ideas. So for how weird the story of this movie is, it could have been worse, I think.
Yeah, I like my Dream Warriors rogue and outside the law.
And dead.
Though theoretically, his name could have just been John Doe. It's not like impossible. It's rare, but I did look. There are people who are named John Doe.
That's crazy. I would change my name.
Yeah. So then now he has no idea who he is.
Hmm.
And then event we'll cut back to him later, but we do cut to this youth shelter um that's outside of town, and like it's not a homeless shelter for
Mm-mm.
youth, mind you. But just a shelter that's for kids whose parents just don't want them or want them
It's
around.
Yeah, they just send them to live with professional therapists and social workers, I guess, because they're troubled in some way.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, because Spencer is the one that is sent there by his dad, but
Hmm.
then you've got people that have dead parents too. So like Carlos doesn't have his parents. So it
Hmm.
could be like almost foster care, or like
Just
I
kind
don't
of
know.
wayward children or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but we do have Spencer,
Hmm.
who is Breckenmeyer. We have Tracy,
Hmm.
who is really into like kickboxing. And
And
then
probably my least favorite like friend or side character of all of the Elm Street movies.
she, hmm,
She's obnoxious.
she's a little, she's a little boring, but
Hmm.
she's fine. And then you've got Carlos, who I like a lot better this watch. I like Carlos.
I like Carlos too.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's not trying to fucking hurt anybody. He just
Mm-mm.
had a tough shake.
Yeah.
Um, he also, let's see, Carlos also can't hear out of one ear. He can't hear out of any.
No, he can't hear out of one ear.
So but whenever they take the hearing aid out, he can't hear anything.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But then he would need hearing aids for both ears.
Yeah, so I didn't understand that.
Maybe because he doesn't like have access to parental like healthcare through his parents, he can only get one.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Um, Maggie will learn yes, some sexual assault warning. Was
Hmm.
abused by her dad, who is maybe now dead, and she's here. Um,
You mean Tracy.
Tracy, sorry, I said
Hmm.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Maggie is like one of like she's like the head doctor, or is that Doc? because there's also Doc, who's the therapist.
I
Maybe
think that they are equals with different jobs.
like she is the like I used to be a manager at a youth shelter. Like I don't know, maybe she was just the director. Maybe she was just
Possibly. Yeah.
you know. But either way, we are introduced to Chekhov's pipe bomb, and Chekhov's wayward youth confiscated weapon arsenal, which is down in the basement.
Yes.
Remember that. It's going to come up, be real helpful later on. I did mention Doc. Doc is the other therapist.
Mhm.
Doc is also like really into dream science and
Love that.
dream demons,
Hmm.
and it just also happens to mention that providing some very crucial information about Freddy Krueger is that, oh yeah, he has this like painting where he's like, oh yeah, there's yeah these three dream snake demons, and they just find the most evil motherfucker they can and get in his body and let him haunt dreams.
Sounds like a great deal for the evil motherfucker, honestly.
I know. So John Doe, he's just roaming around in alleys, not knowing what he's doing, but like he's from Springwood, right?
Yeah.
So
He
like
doesn't know that though.
but he just walked back into town. Like, did anybody do any sort of like cursory, just like ask of like, does anyone know who this boy might be? Can we ask
Yeah, that's
schools?
true.
Can
Hmm.
we? It's not a big town. Like I said, it's like what, like 7,400 or whatever that Freddie has
Hmm.
at the end. It's like, it's not a big town. Are we sure we can't find out who this guy is?
And if he was the only teenager there,
Right.
wouldn't
Oh, yes.
people
Also,
recognize him?
literally the only teenager left in that town.
Like he'd stand out.
I would think so. But the cops are like, fucking they're just going to be like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of paperwork. Let's dump them on the social workers outside of town.
I
And
love that.
also, makes sense that they would put that shelter outside of town. Okay, just the fucking NIMBYism. I like how they just allowed Freddy Krueger to run rampant in that town
No, that's
for
not, they're not in Springwood,
who's not in Springwood.
the youth shelter.
Yeah, I'm blaming it on NIMBYism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, how dare they just let Freddy Krueger run rampant for as long as he has, and then they're just like, ugh, youth shelter, no thank you. Not in our backyard. So it's not a great joke. I was workshopping it. Thank you
Okay.
for yeah. So again, he gets apprehended by the cops. They don't want to do the paperwork. They, find him with basically almost complete amnesia, but he's got on what, like a pack of like anti-sleep pills,
Yeah.
and which is probably just like, some like low grade meth. And
Yeah.
then a newspaper clipping from like Springwood
Hmm.
about this missing Krueger woman.
So he knows that he can't sleep,
Right.
and there's some connection to Springwood.
Right.
That's really it.
So Maggie talks to him when I guess she's doing after they do his intake or whatever at the shelter. And like I said, all he knows is that I can't sleep. I'm gonna die if I sleep. Meanwhile, there's other kids I told you about. What's his name? Spacey? Not Spacey. Spencer?
Spencer,
Tracy? That's the one. Spencer?
Spencer, Tracy,
Tracy?
Carlos.
Carlos. Right. They're hatching up a plan to escape town.
Hmm.
And by escape town, they mean just like go back into their town where they lived. Maybe. Or they're not Elm Street kids though, right?
No, they want to go to California, is what they
Okay.
said.
And
Yeah,
they
they
make
want
it
to steal
lit.
the van and go to California.
Okay. And they just make it to Springwood, Ohio. That's a
Hmm.
bummer.
Yeah.
So, Maggie, if everyone's keeping track here, Maggie, remember the maybe other therapist, director of the shelter, also confesses to having a recurring nightmare herself.
Mm.
Hmm. About her father. And we get little snippets of it, but we'll get back to it.
Hmm.
And then, so when she hears this, or at least when she hears John talk about his dream, and specifically this, like with every Elm Street dream, some little white girl in a pink dress with pigtails running around. She's like,
Hmm.
fuck, I'm having the same dream, or at least a very similar dream.
Oh, and fun fact, this is the first movie that doesn't have the little girls jump roping,
Hmm.
singing the rhyme.
So she's like, hey, I've got an idea. Let's both go to Springwood, Ohio and see what's going on. And he's like, I don't want to fucking do this. I'm pretty sure, I think I know at least enough that I shouldn't be there, even though he did
Yeah,
walk right back into town, right?
he sure did.
Yeah. So, but again, like, so is Springwood, Ohio only 2 miles away? I see the scene, or I see the sign,
It's super close, at least, that they could drive there before it even gets dark. With
right?
it, probably I couldn't be longer than like an hour. And how far do we think that Freddy can project people through person-shaped holes into another town? Like it has to be pretty close.
And like, well, because later on, so they get in this van and they go, and they don't realize that the other kids are in the back.
Hmm.
And once Maggie realizes they're there, she's like, "Oh God, we got to pull over, and we got to find a phone, and we got to figure out just how to get you back." And I'm like, "Aren't you just 2 miles away?"
No, I
Like,
don't think they're actually 2 miles away. I think they made a decent drive and they just showed us the sign, like Springwood is next in 2 miles. It's
okay.
not 2 miles away.
I think then I'll chalk that up to bad editing, not me
No, it is.
misunderstanding.
No, I'll chalk it up to bad editing as well because I also thought the same thing, but I was like, clearly it's not that close. They would
Uh,
know about this town being absolutely bonkers
so
otherwise.
So they pull over to find a phone, and it's this like roadside carnival with no children, right? And it's just
Love
old
this.
people. And I do appreciate like it's old people who are the age that they would be by this point,
Hmm.
right? Like, so there's some gray in there a little bit because I mean you think, now Elm Street kids are having Elm Street kids, right? With Alice,
Hmm.
so at least I don't know. But
She was on the younger side, but yeah, I
who?
Alice because she was just having graduated high school.
This is where you also have your Roseanne cameo and Tom Arnold cameo. And
Hmm.
sure, I guess.
Yeah, they just wanted to throw them in there. They were pretty famous at the time, so
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah.
I liked Roseanne. Like the
Oh
show.
yeah, yeah. Roseanne is great.
Yeah. The person though is a little tough.
Yeah, she took a turn.
Yeah. That's a rough
But
one.
I think this whole scene with this weird carnival and there being no kids, this
Hmm.
was like this is a strong start to their like re-entry into Springwood. I wish that the movie kept this weird energy.
I agree. Because I like seeing like I don't care about the backstory. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah, don't
But
care.
I like seeing the fallout though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to see a town where just see all the kids are dead. Like it is pretty fun when they go into the school and you just see all the plaques of all the children. And they're just like,
Yes.
and then this teacher who like I guess has a just no will to teach or be sane anymore because he has no kids. He's got no purpose, I guess.
I
So
just
he's just
imagine that Freddy can go into the dreams of anyone, but he chooses to only kill people who are under 18 unless somebody gets in his way.
mm,
But he can haunt adults through their dreams. So maybe he's just fucking them all up. They're all sleep deprived. They're having nightmares about things all the time. I that's what I like to think he's doing, and that's why they're also just just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, really. They're unbelievable.
they go to the school nearby because they hear some bells, and I guess that is enough to summon them to go check it out. So, and that's only Maggie and John, whereas Tracy, Spencer, and Carlos are like, "All right, here's our fucking chance. Let's get the fuck out of here and get in the van and
No,
haul
she
ass.
told them to take the van.
Well, she tells them, but they're like, we're not going to fucking head back. There's no way we're going to head back to the fucking
Hmm.
shelter. So they were like, all right, we got the van. We're just going to fucking leave.
Yeah. And
So
leaves herself and John without a car or a phone. Like everything what a terrible plan.
it was
In
a
this
bad
weird
plan.
town, you saw how weird the carnival was. Do we really want to not have a vehicle? That's insane.
So at the school, they learn that Freddy's got a kid. And this very like, I guess I don't, maybe it's here. No, never mind. It's at the orphanage, the crayon picture.
Hmm.
But you find out some way that Freddy has a child, and they're like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, that's going to be part of our mystery now for some reason. And at least with that, John, who still doesn't know who he is, and he seems to think because he survived his initial counter with Freddy that he is immune for some reason, or Freddy doesn't want to kill him for some reason. And then once he sees the
Hmm.
Freddy as a kid, he's like, "Oh boy, I get it. I'm I'm Baby Krueger, Baby
Which
Freddy."
timeline wise would not make sense at all.
No, well,
Because if this is supposed to be 10 years, let's not forget that we also time hopped in the second movie.
only like a year,
No,
five
it was
years,
5 years. So already that's
right?
15 years on top of the actual years. So let's just say it's only 15 years. And Freddie would have had to have been dead from the time that Nancy and Glenn and all of them are kids as well. So let's take another 10 years. He'd be well into his late 20s, early 30s. He wouldn't be a
Hmm.
teenager. That's fucking wild. That makes no sense. Which is why Maggie, timeline wise, matches the age better.
A little
Late,
bit, yeah,
she's
like
supposed to be like late
30-ish.
20s, early 30s. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if she was a toddler, or not a toddler, but she looked like she was like what 3 or 4 years old in the
She's
flashbacks.
definitely at least 5.
Okay, so 5 years old.
Hmm.
That means she was probably born in 79.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, 32-ish. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Sweet. 22-ish. I don't know. I don't know my math. Whatever. Who
Yeah, but
cares?
it couldn't have been John Doe.
Either way. The others are taking the van. They get stuck in a little loop, and then they realize they're basically just stuck in this suburban neighborhood on
Hmm.
Elm Street, Natalie. Oh
Uh-oh.
no. They're like, fuck it, let's just go into an empty house that has like a real estate sign on it. They get in, it all melts away. It's fucking Freddy's house.
I love that.
Or
I thought
Nancy's
that was
house.
fun.
Or both. I always get confused
Both.
on this.
Yeah, it's both.
Okay. Yeah. So they immediately get in, and Carl's the first one to fall asleep. He's like, oh, all right, guys.
Carlos.
I said Carlos.
You said Carl.
Carl, whatever. He, on the dustiest bed he can find,
Ugh.
he just like hits it and just like clouds of dust. He's like, oh man, this is better than the streets. And I'm like,
Are
oh, was
bed
it?
bugs better than the streets?
But is it better than like that youth shelter? Like, I
I don't know.
mean, I don't know. I didn't get their bed situation. It was kind of like, you know, aluminum frame camp bed
But they're
situations.
clean, I would bet.
At least a little clean, right?
Hmm. Cleaner
Right.
than that.
Um, I actually, it's like, you're always wobbling where you're like, I don't know, really just taking advantage of this poor kid's disability. Um, However, I actually did think this is a pretty good sequence from front to
Yeah.
back.
It's I think what's unique about this is it's very long.
Mhm.
Like very long. Like you can tell that they're trying to run the clock. But it is a fun sequence.
I like the sound design here.
Hmm.
When he takes the hearing aid out, and then especially I love it when just like Freddy's just like fucking creeping up behind him, prancing, just being silly, just like really being a real prick here.
Yeah, waving his
Um,
arms, like yelling. Yeah, it's pretty fun. And I like that you can just hear Carlos's heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because then I was thinking about that. I was like, wait, if you can't hear, would you hear your heartbeat? Because it's
I mean,
inside.
I don't know
I don't
or think
know.
so.
I don't
Yeah.
think so either. But yeah, I think the sound design's really fun. When the sound drops out, when he gets
Yeah.
the hearing aid back, and you get the really loud sounds like the water dropping. It's all really fun.
And then dropping all the pins
Hmm.
is
And
pretty good.
Freddie's just having such a good time.
Oh, and just like he's got, and then oh Jesus Christ, all this nails on a chalkboard thing because I've got
Oof.
sensitive ears, and the like, or if someone's like if I'm like at a diner and someone's like
Hmm.
scraping their like butter knife on their plate to like cut
Oh
like
God.
pancakes or something, like I'm just like I can just hear. I'm like, oh my God.
Mhm.
So this part, oh boy, my head would explode the same way. Um, but yeah, for as kind of gruesome as this one is, this scene and then also really the movie in general is pretty bloodless.
Yeah, that's true. I will say I think the scariest and grossest part of this kill scene is in the beginning when it's his mom with the Q-tip. And Freddy takes
Oh,
the Q-tip and puts it through his ear. Ooh, that just ignites that fear of like maybe I'm gonna stick this Q-tip in my ear too far accidentally. I don't like
yeah.
that. Yeah, that I think is the scariest part. The chalkboard, the sound is terrible, but Freddy's really hamming it up. Like he's like thrusting at that chalkboard.
Oh yeah.
He's real into it.
And then of course, just to be an asshole, nice hearing from you, Carlos.
He also says, "Lend me your ear."
Right, right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, poor Carlos. He's dead.
He's done.
So let's see, Maggie and John are at this orphanage trying to find answers, and then they just find this one lady there who's just singing to herself and talking to ghosts. And also has like a very like well maintained, almost brand new looking crayon drawing
Yeah, I love her.
from
She,
with with this like little girl and a mom and a dad, and of course the dad's got a little Freddy Krueger sweater because I guess he just wore it all the
all the
time.
time. I
Yeah,
have a theory that this woman drew that,
yeah,
not actually Kay Kruger, as
K Krueger.
we'll call them at this point. But I think that she drew it. That's
Hmm.
my theory. Because how else would it look so good? And then she knows the red and green sweater. It's too much. Something doesn't add up. She's doing little crayon drawings, pretending to be a kid, whatever she needs to do to get by.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, here's a child, K Krueger. John, just, always thinking about John, right? Is just like, that's me. I'm K Krueger.
Fucking
I think he even
classic man.
says, maybe it stands for Kyle. It could.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if he was born in the 80s, then there's
He
a
says from
high likelihood.
he says it could be anything from Kyle to Kevin.
Yeah.
Can't think of any others.
Uh, Carl with a K.
Oh, come on. That's a stretch.
I don't know. Why am I blanking on dude names that start with
Exactly. That's what
K?
I'm saying. There's not that many.
Kurt.
Okay, Kurt.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're like, okay, this is an emergency. So they got to run to find the others. They catch up with Tracy, who's been looking for Carlos and can't find him. And Spencer is back at the house already asleep. They get there, but it's too late.
Hmm.
So we've got Spencer's death, which is
Starts with
oh,
a fun little cameo.
it starts with I don't know if it's a fun little cameo
I think it's fun
we
because Johnny Depp played Glenn.
it is, but we've canceled Johnny Depp.
I know, but that still
So
doesn't mean we can't enjoy him as Glenn and cameoing in these like drug commercials that were very popular in the 90s.
yeah, Yeah, so you've got him doing like, you have that whole fried egg, like, oh, this is your brain on drugs. And then
Mm-hmm.
Freddy's like, I'm your drug, bitch. And then hits him with the frying pan. He doesn't say that, but
No.
yeah. So then because Spencer, I guess, is a stoner or likes to smoke weed, his nightmare, at least for starts, like playing like what's it like Inagata Devita, and then all the kind of
It's like
you
very
know s-
psychedelic looking.
psychedelic 60s kind of swirl thing on the TV, and he gets sucked into the TV, and it's this psychedelic thing, but then just shifts to a video game
Yeah, it's really random.
because does Breckenmeyer mention video games?
In the beginning of the movie, he
Oh,
has
he's
the
playing.
handheld little game device, and his dad's talking to him, and he's just completely ignoring him for the video game.
Yeah, it's like the Tiger Electronics version of like Shinobi
Mm-hmm.
or Shinobi 3 or something.
Exactly.
Um, so sure. But yeah, it's kind of novel and also makes sense. Like this is like the absolute height of, like the Nintendo craze and
Mm-hmm.
home console gaming. Um, I was thinking, do you ever play A Nightmare on Elm Street on the NES?
I didn't. I know it existed, but I never got to play it.
I was
Did you?
thinking, yeah, I have, and I've got um, you know, a thing that questionably legally can play all of those
Yeah.
games. And so I've got that and like Friday the 13th on NES and some of the
Mm.
others.
That one I
But
played.
yeah, that one's okay. But but also there's this game mechanic. I was just thinking about it because there's this game mechanic in Super Mario Brothers, like the first, like the famous one, the
Mm-hmm.
side-scrolling one, where in the some of the castle sections, it's like a bunch of different paths, and if you don't know the right path to go, it just keeps looping. And I was
Mm.
like, why didn't they use that game mechanic in the Nightmare on Elm Street game? Because Freddy does that to
Oh
people
yeah, that's
over and
true.
over. Like there's been in multiple
Mm-hmm.
movies where people are just stuck in a loop, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be a fun situation. But either way, I mean, again, it's still pretty novel. Like, and then having him do again, it's like Scooby Doo and Looney Tunes sounds, but having him do like Mario jumps
Yeah.
through the house. There's also video game um sprites of like his dad, who's just like, be like me.
Be like me.
Yeah, which every rebellious teenager hates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the video game stuff is kind of dumb, but it is kind of cool watching him like jump up around through the house, and he's
Yeah.
like hitting his head and his skull on shit, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's all pretty good. That's why like Nintendo had to clarify. It's like Mario does not, when he jumps, he is not bashing his head against a brick. He is putting his fist up and doing it. So
Oh
kids,
yeah.
use your fists when you're
Yeah, when
breaking
you're breaking bricks.
bricks,
Give it a
right?
good running jump uppercut and you'll be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
What'd you think about this whole scene?
I uh it's fine. I think the way that the group reacts to this is interesting because you've got Maggie just kind of following him around the house while
Mhm.
he's bouncing around. I don't know what the purpose of that is. She's not trying to stop him or help him in any way. She's just watching. Then you've got John Doe who's trying to get into his dream.
Because he's
Right?
like, Freddy won't hurt me, so I'll jump in to help him.
Which is really presumptuous. Like, bro, I know that that's part of it, but I would not be so quick to think that if you were interfering with his plans that you'd be immune to Freddy killing you. But I do like when he's laying down on the ground because they're saying that he's passed out. I love that they're like he's so passed out from smoking weed that he like can't wake up. I'm like, guys, like did whoever wrote this, like did you ever smoke weed? Like have you ever? Because like sure, you might fall asleep, but you'll wake up if
Yeah.
if somebody's like waking you up. But I like that you see him getting kicked in the
Yeah.
stomach. You see like the pressure of the foot going into his stomach. That's pretty fun.
That's a great effect. I'm glad you
Mhm.
brought that up. So John is like, all right, I got to get in. Tracy, I need you to punch me as hard as you fucking can in the fucking face.
So I
And
can't wake up,
Yeah.
idiot.
And Tracy's like, sure, okay. And then punches him in the fucking head, knocks him out. So he jumps in the dream,
Mhm.
only to turn around and find Tracy there, where she just goes, oh, yeah, yeah. I just use meditation. And you're like, could you not have told him that first? Or was she
She
like,
says she tried to tell him, but he wouldn't listen.
oh, she's just like, you know
And then
what? Fine,
he
I'll just
hit
punch you in the
her,
face.
and that's why she hit him back.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right, right. But it even matters though, because Freddy's like already killed Spencer at this point. He's
Yeah.
thrown him down the stairs, opened up a little pit to hell at the bottom for him to slide through. Maggie
Hmm.
just watches and goes, ooh,
Which, yeah,
no, stop.
for for some reason she can see this pit. The rules are very muddy of what's happening in
Right,
the real world versus what's happening in the dream because theoretically she shouldn't be able to see this pit in the ground because that's very dreamlike.
right. So Spencer's gone. He's dead.
Hmm.
Then Tracy wakes up, and then her and Maggie take the still unconscious John, throw him in the van, and they're
Yep.
like, all right, we need to get out of here. Um, but since John's still knocked unconscious, he's still asleep.
Hmm.
And then, for the only three deaths in this movie, we get him back to back to back
Yeah.
really quick. And so, because
Not
we're
a good
right.
choice, I don't think.
Yeah, I would have preferred them to get to the shelter first, and then everyone, like the staff, turns on like John Doe, and they're like, "Who are you? You got answers. What the fuck?" I'm thinking some sort
Mm.
of like they still think he's kind of a red herring kind of
Yeah.
situation, involved somehow, a la Tommy Jarvis kind of thing.
Hmm.
And speaking of better part sixes in movies, and but no, they get him here. But to be fair, I like this death too.
I like
Uh,
this one.
because you revisit, the he's back in the house, and then it starts plummeting again, right? um he like jumps out, and he's like on like a parachute or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then Freddy fucking cuts him loose, and he's just like, but I'm your kid, and he's like, buddy, I got a lot of kids all over town.
Do do you know how time works?
Yeah, do you let me? Oh my
Because
god,
this franchise does not.
no. And then he's like, but I've got a little baby girl.
Yeah.
Just like that. I don't know what that
Just
was.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then and then it probably might, it's gonna be a contender for me for best Freddy quote, is he goes, grounded, and just
Yeah.
cuts him loose, and then he falls, and then again, so Looney Tunes, right? Because you cut to the
Mhm.
ground before he
Oh my
falls,
gosh.
and Freddy is just pushing this bed of spikes.
I love that. That's the best part of this death. And the way he looks at the audience too. Like he's really playful with like, who's watching the movie,
Oh
which
yeah.
is great.
And so he fucking falls to his death, falls on a bed of spikes, because just hitting the ground and just exploding would not have been enough.
No.
And then I thought it was kind of cool because then, obviously in the awake land, right? You've got Maggie and Tracy holding John, who's like, fucking convulsing, and you see the like blood holes
Yeah,
in
that's
his
fun.
chest, and
Hmm.
bleeding out. And then his last breath, it's a girl, or something like that, to that
Uh-huh.
extent. So
I
it's
don't
not a boy.
anytime someone shares really important information right before they die, I always think to myself, it couldn't be me. I would just be like, y'all are on your own. I'm not using my last dying breath to fucking help you solve a mystery. I'm on my way out. Like,
I'm trying to catch
not
another breath and
happening.
stay alive.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to give you any help. You're on your own now. You let me die.
So our remaining survivors at this point. We've got Maggie and Tracy. They go back to the shelter to kind of lick their wounds a little bit and report like, yeah, I don't know, something weird happened and we just like lost these kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um, Not that their parents cared, but in case we do need to report it to our, contract monitors and grant, monitors. But no, so because nobody, but then, right, oh, sorry, I can't talk. But it doesn't even matter because, and I think it's kind of a win-win because they go back to the staff and they're like,
Who?
Spencer who? Carlos who? Her name is
That's
John Doe. So like
why do you
Freddie,
think why?
because I don't know. Who cares? I don't know.
Just to
It makes
not
no sense.
cause panic?
Yeah, I don't know why they just wouldn't remember anymore.
But Doc remembers.
Oh yeah, he's above that shit, right? He's too smart. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm too good at
He's a dream
dreams.
master.
I'm too good at dreams. Don't even
Mm.
worry about me. So it's like, come on, Tracy, let's take it out in the gym. Go punch. I'll laugh and cheer you on.
Yeah.
I'm good at dreams. And meanwhile, Maggie, who is overwhelmed with guilt, um, runs to her mother's house, digs out her birth certificate,
Recreates Nancy's bursting into the house and shouting out mother.
right? And she realized, does she realize then she's adopted? Or did she always know she was adopted but didn't know? But she was like, I need to find out the names of my real parents.
I think she always knew she was adopted.
Got it. But this is the first time we have any idea she's adopted. Or
Yes,
maybe
but it
we do.
seems it
Because
seems like she knows and she maybe like chose her line of work based off of that as well.
right. So the adopted mother does not know who the parents are, but
We
we
know.
know. We know. At least one of
Hmm.
them. So then this is when we get Maggie's like full recurring dream and the reveal that not only is Freddy her daddy, but she's the pigtail girl.
Oh my gosh.
Has she always been? Because this girl, this not
Hmm.
obviously not the same actress, but like is in every single movie.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's always been, but could we not have found an actress, like a little actress with darker hair? Like Maggie's hair is so dark, it's so black that I'm assuming they're trying to throw us off that it could have been her or Tracy because Tracy's blonde, so they found a little girl with like
Mm,
light brown hair. It
right.
just bothered me. It bothers me every time I watch this movie.
Yeah, I guess when they say like, "Oh, it's not a boy," you're supposed to like, I guess, still think that it could be either. I guess I
I
just
think so.
knew it was not Tracy from the get-go.
It
But
because of their fucking age. Like no shit. It's nobody but Maggie.
um really upsetting when Maggie herself is in the dream and she's like wearing that like kid's dress and the pigtails.
Hmm.
That does not look good. I don't like that at all.
It's weird.
And then Freddy goes, "Hey, Catherine with a K, Kruger. Are you do you have any feelings about Catherines with a K? Are you a Catherine with a C kind of person?
I've always liked Catherine with a C.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why. I feel like Catherine with a K, maybe it's just the letter K in general. Sorry, Kyle.
That's okay.
But just Catherine with a K feels a little bit like harsh. Catherine with a C like seems soft.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that two initials KK, I'm like, you're dangerously close from getting one more K.
That's true.
Maybe he's a real asshole where it's like, your name's Catherine Kyle Kruger.
Oh, it's terrible.
You'll you'll never want to enter your name on your like Galaga high score, you know, or like NBA Jam or
My
something, right?
gosh.
So, but I guess he explains that Freddy Krueger explains to her that okay, first of all, you're Catherine Krueger. You're my daughter. Hello. Um, Freddy fucks. And she has the power to bring him back
Because of a
because
blood connection, of
you're
course.
right. Each of these movies has some new introduced
Yeah.
lore and ways. Um, he's killed all the M Street kids, right?
Hmm.
But he's like, hey,
He's
I'm bored.
bored.
I'm bored. And then also like like any successful business, right? It's like you got to go national, right? So he's like, hey, there's on streets all over fucking the country.
Hmm. He does also, they show that he killed her mom,
Right.
presumably his wife.
Who is named or is not named? Does she have a name?
I don't think that she's named, but she discovered his creepy milk and cookies knife glove room, we'll call
Right.
it. Yeah.
Gross. And Natalie, do you know how many Elm Streets there are in the United States?
Oh my gosh, did you look it up?
I did.
Should I
Um,
guess?
sure.
I'll never guess. Well, I never guess correctly. Is okay, give me a hint. Is it in the hundreds or the thousands?
It is in the thousands.
Okay, 2,556.
You're gonna have to double that and then some. Freddy's got a
What?
lot of work to do. A simple Google search says that there are 5,337 unique Elm Streets across
Wow.
the United States. It doesn't say continental or including Hawaii,
Do
so
you
I'm not sure.
think do you think there's anyone weird enough to try to find all of these Elm Streets and like go to them and take a photo or do something like that?
Maybe. I mean, I guess yeah, it wasn't until this one where he's like, "Hey, fuck it. There's Elm Streets everywhere. I don't care. Why do I have
He
to be
says
in?
there's one in every town. He's not wrong.
Why do I need to be in suburban Ohio? I can go to fucking Elm Street in Los Angeles. The
Yeah.
fuck." So, looks like the closest one to me is in Bellingham, Washington.
I think that there's one very
That's in
close
the
to me.
islands, though, in the Sound.
Hmm.
There might be. Also, not surprisingly, but I think a benefit to us, homes that are located on Elm Streets tend to have a lower value than other houses, like similar houses in similar neighborhoods.
Wow.
I'd love to live on an Elm Street, wouldn't you?
I would love to. Okay, there's an Elm Street 2.3 miles away from me.
Go check it out. Steal the sign.
I know. I'm like, I know where it is. That's why I was like, I know there's an Elm Street like real close.
Go out and take a picture. Put it on social
I'm not
media
gonna,
for us.
maybe, but I'm not gonna steal the sign because that's
Okay.
a crime.
Did kind of dox yourself.
A little bit. But I mean, there's multiple Elm Streets in the city of San Diego too.
Oh, okay, well, nice of your city is. So, are
I
there multiple
I've
ones?
said that before. Yeah, there are multiple ones.
Oh, okay. So there you
Yeah.
go. Good luck. And you alternate between, you never know which one you're at.
Mm-hmm. Always at a
Yeah,
different one.
right. So every town's got an Elm Street. I need, or at least I, as in Freddy, need Maggie's baby Freddy energy. Not baby Freddy from last one, but like you're the
I
real
miss
baby Freddy.
I miss Baby Freddy.
Me too.
Wow, there's 28 Elm Streets, avenues, roads, lanes, and ways just in the San Diego area alone.
Elm Way. No, there's no nightmare on Elm Way.
There
Get the fuck
could
out of here.
be, there could
No, there
be.
couldn't be. That's dumb. Freddy's like, look,
He's like, I've got enough Elm Streets to tackle here. Eternity is real long.
it's probably once he knocks out the Elm Streets, he's like, well, what
He
is,
can be more flexible.
does Elm Way count? You know?
Elm Lane.
So Tracy's asleep and now having a nightmare about her father trying to abuse her.
Oh yeah, it's real
Yeah.
creepy.
But this time she's fucking prepared and beats the living shit out of him, which is cool.
Hmm.
And then I do like his face being like cartoonishly like kicked and looking looks like
Yes.
fucking again with Mario when you're like stretching Mario's face. maybe it doesn't hold. I was thinking the opening of Mario 64, but
It
his
doesn't hold. Not
yeah,
like, because it's like clay. Like it almost looks like his face is clay.
right. And then he becomes Freddy, and
Hmm.
she still fucking is just like, I'll throw it down with you, and kicks him in the dick. Maybe she does that earlier, but she gets
Hmm.
some good hits in. And then burns her arms to wake herself up.
Hmm.
So, and then again, you're right, like he can get into adult's dreams because Doc is also sleeping,
Yeah.
but like on a timer with like, some like electrodes hooked up to his head to shock
Hmm.
him awake. Um, and then Freddy just reiterates this demon deal that he made where he's like, "Oh, yes. Oh, I remember when they were burning me alive. And these little demon boys came to me and said, we let us live in you." And I said, "Okay."
I I don't like that they come to him before he's burned. Like I would have liked to have seen him like in the fire burning so that I mean I think he would have done it either way. But I'd be like, why'd y'all let me get all burnt up?
Yeah,
Like,
why'd you wait until now? I was
why can't
evil
I be
10
alive?
I was evil 10 minutes ago too.
Yeah.
Before they set the fucking place on fire. Why y'all gotta make me
Exactly.
look like an asshole?
Yeah. And now I just have to be
Aw.
fucking burnt to a crisp forever.
People with burns don't look like assholes. I'll take that back. I'm sorry.
No, well, Freddy is he's supposed to be a dead person walking.
Yeah, he's an asshole on the inside.
Yeah.
But um and then also says to Doc, like, "Oh yeah, they've been trying to kill me for fucking 7 years now at least, or more. Well, I guess 17 if you're adding the 10."
So many years.
He's like, "They've been trying to fucking kill me. They tried, tried to bury me a couple times, tried holy water, tried kissing me. That was weird."
Yeah, he doesn't mention that one.
He
I like that
doesn't
he cuts off his fingers as he's listing each
for
thing.
each one.
Hmm.
One tried to love me. Nope. That's always
Gross.
that's always gonna be my favorite. Is even though I ranked two at the bottom, like, God, maybe I need to reevaluate that. Um, so the doc wakes up and they all agree, like, all right, I guess since Maggie is baby Freddy Prime, that
Mhm.
she's got to go in. She's got the power to bring him back. She also has, theoretically, would also have the power to expel him for
Sure.
good.
Hmm.
Sure. And then ideally, what they want to do is bring Freddy into the real world,
Yeah.
which I'm like, didn't we do this? Like in the first one.
Hmm.
So we're just trying to be like, oh yeah, maybe the first time's the charm, I guess.
It doesn't seem to work the way you think it would
Yeah,
because Freddy always can find a way to get back into Dreamland through
right.
somebody.
Also, Natalie, this movie originally was in 3D, or at least the last 10 minutes of it. And this is when it
Yeah, Freddy
starts.
Vision.
Freddy Vision, right? Also, so I mean, there was like nearly like if they kept all the footage in like that they'd filmed for it, it's like a 2 hour movie. And then they cut it down to 100 minutes for the theaters.
Hmm.
And then the 89-minute version that we have, that's the only version that exists. So even
Hmm.
the original theatrical version does not exist. You can't see what those extra 10 minutes are. Um,
I'm
and
assuming it's more 3D bullshit.
I don't I mean there's some list on a website that documents this stuff much better than we do, but a lot of it is like some of those conversations where you actually kind of learn a little bit about people. Um but I don't think it was like any like necessarily like great stuff like any kills or anything that were taken out, but
Yeah, that'd be
mm,
wild. So it must be all the conversations that would have happened in between the three kills that are just one after the other after the other.
right.
Maybe.
So here's what fucks me up, Natalie, and my brain just cannot wrap around it.
Okay.
Where okay, Freddy has after killing John, jumps into her brain, right?
Super easy.
Yeah, it just turns into, you know, little shiny wind and goes inside her brain, right?
While she's awake.
And then when she goes to sleep, she jumps in his brain, which is inside her. And I don't know why, just whenever I
Ooh, it's like
think,
Inception.
yeah, it's Inception, or like when I must have brought this up before because it's always what I think about. But you ever watch that show Cat Dog?
Yes.
Do you know the part I'm talking about? There's some part where or it's the other way around. It really doesn't matter for the story's sake, but it cat for the sake of expediency, cat climbs into dog's mouth and through dog's intestines and goes far enough to climb to for cat to then climb out of his own mouth
Yeah, I think
inside dog. And I was like, my brain is broken wide the fuck open, and I'm like
I
9
don't
years
like
old.
that. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Cat dog is weird.
Yeah. So we get, oh my God. And you know how much I hate Freddy Krueger backstory.
Oh, it's
Um,
so much backstory.
and this is the worst
Yeah.
because it tries to like explain like why Freddy is the way he is, I
N-
guess. And
Not
nope.
even. He's already weird. He's like crushing the so many things. May I?
Sure.
Okay,
Have at
so
it.
we get this scene that Maggie is witnessing of Freddy in class, and he takes a sledgehammer to a mouse. Where did this child get a sledgehammer? In the middle of the school, in the middle of class? So already there's an issue. None of the kids seem horrified by the fact that he just killed the class pet with a sledgehammer, but they also know the part of his backstory that was shared in two films ago. So they
Like,
know he's the bastard son of 1,000 maniacs, and they're all just yelling it.
whoa, 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 whoa. Only 100 maniacs.
100 maniacs, sorry.
Yeah, but not we've made this joke, but not 10,000 maniacs like
Not
the band.
10,000 maniacs.
But
But
like when the kids are singing like "Son of 100 maniacs, son of 100," and
yeah.
I'm just like, I just man, if I got older, like I'll look back and I've been bullied before, but I've like also and then like tried to like turn around and then like bully somebody else, like as a kid, because I was dumb and didn't know any better, and so I think of sometimes like dumb things I said as a kid. And I was like, man, that's mean. Why would I be like that? That's fucking stupid. And you feel guilty about it. Imagine, I guess you wouldn't, because you bully this child for his mother being sexually assaulted by 100 random men. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. But you're like, Jesus Christ. And the teacher's not putting an end to any of that. They're like, hey, teacher's like, yeah, he is a weird kid.
I'm like,
Eh,
how'd y'all learn this information?
right? So
Wasn't
it
he
was
adopted?
no Freddy Krueger. Well, I guess. I don't know. Well, because you meet Freddy's
Freddy's
dad,
dad, who is Alice Cooper.
who obviously is Alice Cooper, but I guess adopted then?
Yes, because he says
or
he makes
or
a
was he one
comment.
of the 100 maniacs where he's like, oh, I can tell you,
No.
I was the one that made it in.
He makes, God damn it. He makes a comment that says, like, I took you in.
Right.
So implying that he adopted him in one way or another or fostered him. I don't know.
And no more Mr. Nice Guy. He should have said that.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Here's the hee hee hee
Yeah.
hee. Pretty
I-
good.
yeah. So then you've got that whole scene of like they're just trying to show that Freddy was already evil. Like nothing necessarily made him evil except for I guess being a result of like a pregnancy out of assault. I don't know. Like
And then we cut to him, you know, being burned alive,
mhm.
that's going to ultimately lead us to a Nightmare on Elm Street. And he, again, this is so funny. And I don't remember, I wish I remembered the voices of
Oh my
these
God,
little snake monsters.
their voices are kind of silly.
Hey, little buddy,
Yeah.
you look like an evil motherfucker. He's just like,
I am.
he's like, yeah, I am. Hey, get me out of here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So they all live inside him, and I guess, and I don't know why it has to be three. Did it say why?
He's got three holes.
That's true. I don't even need to do the math. Gross. So, because they do like little sperm things
They
too. I
look
don't
like
like
little
that.
sperms.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man. Oh, oh no. Just one of those holes is the pee hole.
I know.
Oh boy. So, they Freddy gets pulled out because I guess in all of this waxing nostalgia, Maggie goes behind him, gives him a little bear hug from the back, and it's just like, "You're
Hmm.
coming with me, buddy. Um, welcome to my nightmare." And to also quote Alice Cooper, Daddy Freddy, adopted Daddy Freddy,
Adopted
and
daddy.
Granddaddy Freddy, rather. So, and then remember this weapons arsenal I was telling you about, that from all the
Hmm.
confiscated weapons from wayward children.
Oh, I remember.
So everybody who's awake, Tracy and Doc, and then also Maggie, arm themselves, and they're like, now we know this place. We're gonna hunt Freddy.
Hmm.
Um, but Freddy also has like some of his powers because he's still like Spider-Man walking up and down the ceilings and shit.
I love that he's on the ceiling. So, okay, I take issue with this because he's definitely on the ceiling doing some sort of fucking demon found footage walk. And later, he seems to be completely human,
Yeah,
right? So, a little bit of issues there. I would have preferred him still having some supernatural abilities or more just a little stronger than he actually is because he does still in theory have these little sleep sperm demons inside him.
yeah,
They didn't just abandon him. So, I mean, clearly he's still alive and he's able to change from regular face Freddy to burned up face Freddy.
right.
To which I'm like, does he choose to look like that?
Yeah,
That's interesting. That's a whole nother story, but I like that he tries to fake being all cute.
yeah. It's like, oh, now you know why I was a bad guy.
He's like, you saw how they treated me. Bro, you just smashed a mouse. What?
Yeah, yeah. Mm, like if it's like Danny DeVito's Penguin, like I still kind of like, I get it, man. That's hard. Your parents sent you down a sewer. That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
You were just a fucking sewer baby, a sewer
Yeah,
flipper baby.
he couldn't help it.
But even think Danny DeVito's Penguin's pretty cute though, cuter than Freddy Krueger.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, um, they are like locked in a cage, kind of like a cage match situation,
I hate this
and
whole fight.
yeah, because it's pretty underwhelming.
Hmm.
She like bites his nose,
Yeah, and then you don't even see damage to his nose. It would have been fun if we got a little bit of blood spurting or something.
right? They trade some quips. She's got throwing knives. She like pins him to the wall with.
Like she's
Uh,
done this professionally.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, she then puts on his glove like father, like daughter,
Hmm.
and he's like, "Yes, I like this." Now you're a killer. I've turned you into a killer. This whole bullshit where it's like someone comes, kills a bunch of people, and then like when they try to kill you, you're like, "Oh no, I've turned you into me." You're like, "No, get the fuck out of here,
No,
dude."
you're the bad one. I can kill you
Yeah, now you've
with
learned
no
how to kill.
remorse.
Yeah. Um, and then yeah, she just stabs him through the gut, which I guess also causes him to explode.
Hmm.
I don't get that at all. But and not only explode, but remember this part's all supposed to be in 3D, right? He
Yeah.
explodes and then like his head like flies at the screen going "Wah!" like kind of
And
like
it
situation.
and it flashes at you like three different times
Yeah.
as it's flying
Oh.
towards. Yeah, that's just the magic of 3D.
Oh. Oh, and of course he goes, kids.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
stupid.
And that's it. Like she wakes up,
She's
she's
like,
like, hey,
Freddy's dead.
and then cue the Iggy Pop, run the credits,
Hmm.
we're good. And then I would say probably the most enjoyable part about this movie is watching the montage of all the
Oh
kills.
my gosh, the montage is so good. It's not chronological, which is kind of an odd choice, but
Yeah.
it is fun.
Yeah. It's interesting, like the ones like they kind of lead with and yeah, interchange some of those. Oh well.
Hmm.
And that's her movie, Natalie.
Yep.
Did I leave anything out? I don't think I did.
I don't think so. The plot is paper thin.
Yeah.
So for how much backstory, for how much extra backstory we get, we only have a few characters. They could have thrown more characters and kills in this movie to pad the time a
Yeah.
little bit more. So yeah, you nailed it. Great job.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hmm.
I am just dreaming to hear about some taglines.
All right. This movie has four taglines.
Okay.
The first one reads like a tombstone. Born November 2nd, 1984, dies September 13th, 1991.
Well, oh, well, I mean, you're talking about the franchise, but not.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
And
I
there's
mean,
two more, by the way, coming.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's always final, right?
Right.
All right. They saved the best for last.
Yeah.
Not
Is it
really, though.
is it the best? And like I said, it's not the last.
No.
Okay.
Evil has finally met its match.
Mm, no.
Mm-mm.
I don't
It
like
could
that
have been
either.
it could have been evil has finally met his match.
Sure.
I don't know. Just trying something out. You think you know about dreams? You know nothing.
Mm,
Doc knew something.
yeah. I've got two. I don't often do this, but I've
Ooh,
got
okay.
two tagline suggestions.
Yeah, lay it on me.
All right. So keep it sweet, Daddy Deadly. Right?
That's fucking dumb.
So my other one is just as dumb, if not dumber, but better.
Yeah.
Um, so what? This is 1991. Um, the I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy, it hurts,
Mm-hmm.
et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha.
Right, said Fred. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Tie it in. Fright, said Fred.
Was that song out by this time?
Same year.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's
Or
not
not.
that's not the worst one. I'll take
I
that.
was at first I was thinking like Night said Fred,
No, I like
maybe.
Fright.
But I like Fright said Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm too sexy for my sweater, too sexy for my fedora. I'm too sexy for my one glove. Too sexy for my one glove. They should have. Right said Fred should have done a Halloween show
Freddy version?
as Fright said Fred and did a Freddy version of
Mm,
it.
yep.
Yeah,
Shame you weren't there.
I know it's never
Could have.
too late though. I wonder if they're probably still performing, right?
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I'll sneak into their DMs.
All right. Put that offer on the table
Be
for
like,
sure.
"Hi, we've got and I'll do it from the 3, 2, 1 ghost account."
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That way they know we mean business.
Yeah. So speaking of business, back to business. As we're wrapping up, I think we're doing. What order do you want to do this in?
Let's start with our favorite Freddy quote. I'll let you go
Mine,
first.
yeah, mine is gonna be, it's really simple. I just like when he says grounded and then cuts him loose. I think that's because it's not corny, it's
Short
still
and sweet.
funny.
Yeah.
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 And he's really pleased with himself when he does it. I like when Freddy's like really like, yeah, I got a good one. That was good.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's pretty excited about it. I write down the quotes that I like as I'm going through the movie, and then I pick my
Hmm.
favorite at the end. I picked a meaner quote by Freddie instead of a funny quote. So I went with, I didn't need a glove to kill your bitch of a mother, and I don't need one now. I
Hmm.
love that. I was like, he's feeling real confident, but he did want that glove.
I
A minute
oh,
later, he's like,
I
"Give
was
me that
gonna
glove, girl. Give me
he's
that
like
glove. You better give Daddy that glove."
I would have worked out some sort of a bad joke where,
No glove, no love.
I was gonna say I didn't wear a glove when I made you
And I don't need one
to take you
to
out.
take you out.
Wouldn't that
That's
be
not too
better?
bad. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Okay. Um,
Okay.
kills. You want me to go first?
No, favorite nightmare sequence.
Oh
If you
yeah.
have one, that I do.
I do. It's still going to be both of John's from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning and then when he ultimately dies. Like I said, I just like the falling house effects. I like the effects of him like falling through the sky and
Mm-hmm.
like obviously you can kind of you can tell and it looks cheap, right? But
Yeah,
it's
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 old.
but it looks good. I still like it.
Yeah.
But and Freddy's fun during those. So,
Yeah.
and not like
Yeah.
too overboard with some of the silliness, but
I agree.
how about you?
Yeah. I also liked John Doe's nightmare sequences, but specifically when he's in the loop and he keeps waking up in the room and he's like, "That's it. There's nothing that can make me get out of this bed." And then Freddy
That catches
just lights
fire.
the bed on fire. I
Yeah.
was like, that shit's funny. I like that like playfulness that Freddy's having because you don't need the one-liner. He's just like, all right, I'm just gonna light the place on fucking fire so you stay in that bed. So that was a good one for me. All right.
However, my favorite kill is Carlos.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's the best
Right?
one. But this, you know what? This might be the second or third time that the best kill is the first kill.
Hmm.
They need to stop doing that. Like, I stop doing that. I mean, they're not making the movies, but I would have liked for the best kill to be somewhere in the middle. They could always make that work with the plot. Really, all these characters are very little backstory. So I wish that we had maybe more time with Carlos, less time with Tracy, who ends up surviving.
Because at least you get oh yeah, Tracy lives. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
kill her.
because at least like, like Tina has the first death in the first one, but at least you get a lot of time with Tina.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
But I
yeah.
agree, Carlos. It's long, but Freddy's having a good time, and it's like you said, the sound design's really fun. Just a lot of silliness. I really like when he's pulling the chalkboard too, and he's like, "Ooh,
Yeah, I know. He
ah."
he stretches that. Ooh.
He's like, "Oh, la la."
I love that.
Yeah, I dig it. All right, boost score. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I I don't hate this movie. I don't think there's any Elm Street movies that I don't like, but this definitely is on the back half of my Elm Street ranking. I do enjoy the silliness of it, but I think it's just one notch too far over the top if they actually were going to make this be the last entry in the franchise. So I I was going back and forth between a 2 and a 2.5. For reference, I gave my lowest ranked, which is Nightmare 2, 2 boos. So I'm they both have they both have a lot of things wrong with them, but I find myself watching this one more than I watch part two. So I'm gonna give this one 2.5 boos.
Okay. Do you know what I gave part two?
Yes.
Obviously, clearly, we're both trying to figure out like where do we set this near the bottom.
You also gave part two 2 boos. Do you want your would you like your boo scores for the other films?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Um, mm, I am also gonna give this two boos. It's and spoiler alert for my rankings, it is the worst one.
Mhm.
And yeah, like I said, I've and at least if anything, I'm gonna be consistent. I hate whenever you just keep tacking on more and more and more backstory. I'm like, I don't care. Stop it. Stop
Mhm.
it, stop it, stop it. And you only have three kills. You don't really get that much time to do anything with the characters or care about the characters. I think that John and Carlos both have pretty okay sequences and deaths. I don't think any kill in this movie would be like in my top five kills for the
No.
franchise. Maybe even
Mm-mm.
top 10. I don't know. Um, mm, yeah. So, but at the same time, it's still a nightmare movie. It's still fun. I actually had more fun with this in this watch than I probably have in a while, I think.
Oh, same.
I
Absolutely.
revisit this one the least because I'm usually always going to one, three, four.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll sneak in a new nightmare every now and then, but spoiler alert, can't mention that one. But
I mean, we know it exists. That's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I think a two. And I think honestly, to be fair, it's probably a generous two.
Did I say 2 or 2.5 just now?
You said two and a half.
I did say 2.5. Okay. I wrote
Yeah.
down I wrote down two.
So my ranking for this series would go part one, part four, part three, part let's see. What am I at? Part five. Okay. And then I'll go part two and then final final nightmare. Because it's not part
Hmm.
six.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe there's like I said, I'll give two and six both two boos, but it's a stronger two boos. Like when you compare the both, that's why I'm thinking like, God, do I give it one and a half? I'm gonna stick with two, but I think about it because I'm like, two at least had it was a little spookier. It was sillier without being goofier, but in a
Hmm.
good way. I enjoyed its kind of silliness, or it's actually rather its campiness. It's campy
Yeah,
without being overly
it's more
goofy.
campy. Hmm.
Obviously you got Roseanne and Tom Arnold in that one, and in six, you're just like, ugh, that's not helping anything. Obviously you always enjoy Alice Cooper, but again, just the backstory is so bad. Um,
Hmm.
and then Freddy looks way better in part two. Probably the best he probably looks.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with two, but it's a distant gap
Mm.
between two and then six being my least favorite. How about you?
Interesting. Okay. I so our rankings were the same going into this. I'm gonna swap your last two. So it's gonna be 1, 4, 3, 5, 6, 2.
Mm,
Here's my reason why.
okay.
Because I know it's been a minute since we watched Nightmare 2. I really think about the problems that I have with part two and the problems that I have with this movie. I don't think either of them, like, they're my least favorite to watch. Whenever I go through the franchise, I definitely dread watching these two the most. But I had more fun with this one on this watch than I ever have. And every time I watch part two, I have less fun and I notice one extra thing that I don't like about it. I remember when we talked about part two, how few kills there were, how little blood there was, how you couldn't tell what was a nightmare and what wasn't. It was, but not in a good way, not in a way that helped the story. The rules are all over the place, and I don't expect that much continuity for rules. They could add things in at any time. But Freddy's obsession with wanting to be part of the real world in the second one was just not compelling to me. I like his agenda in this one. I love that he's like, I'm cool being a dream demon. It's very like Chucky, I'm a killer doll and I dig it. Like he's just like, find me another Elm Street and then another and then another. So I like his agenda better in this one. And I originally went into this thinking that two would be on top of six, but I swapped them after watching it and after talking it through. So that's where we're at now. I think two, our rankings are going to start to differ with the next two as well. Like I think they're going to go different directions, which is fun because usually we have the same rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie, we're done. Freddy's dead. We're done,
Freddy's
right?
dead. There's how could there be any more movies? It's the final nightmare.
So I'll see you in 9. Things are gonna get a little wacky in this next one, but I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, just sweet dreams, everybody. You're grounded.
Stupid.
So dumb. All right, everybody. Take care. 3, 2, 1. Ghost.
Thanks for listening to our episode on Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. If you enjoyed this episode, you could subscribe to our podcast and leave us a 5 boo review on whichever platform you choose to listen. You can find us on Instagram at 321GhostPod and give us a follow. We would love to hear your favorite Freddy kills and quotes. Follow us on Letterboxd at 321GhostPod to see our boo scores on all of the movies we've covered so far. Next week, we're keeping the party going with 2019's Ma. Thanks again for listening. And remember, Freddy is dead, and this was the final nightmare. So no more sequels. 3, 2, 1, Ghost.